damages the ozone layer, as we have read in the previous classes, creates acid rain. Effects are diverse and numerous, as you all know. And if we look at this slide, we see the air quality index of today in India. Hardly there is any number which is below 100, right? So everywhere the air quality index is poor. Look, it is 316, 400, 410, 188, even 965. Where we are living? We are living in a gas chamber. Air pollution in major cities across India has reached alarming levels in the past week, particularly in Delhi, where residents face a public health emergency. The national capital region has been shrouded in a thick blanket of smog, forcing most people to stay indoors. Flight operations at Delhi airport are also affected due to low visibility caused by the air pollution. The air quality index in Delhi dropped to 999 over the weekend, making it most populated capital in city in the world. Almost it will reach this level, I tell you. It hasn't reached, but it will reach this. While the safe limit set for World Health Organization is 25, and anything above 500 poses a serious risk to the respiratory systems of the general population. Air quality index measures the concentration of particulate matter 2.5 levels, fine particles of less than 2.5 micron that can enter the bloodstream and penetrate the lungs and heart, which are linked to chronic respiratory diseases. Not only does the toxic air affect healthy lungs, it also is found to cause premature deaths among those suffering from respiratory illness. According to Greenpeace, more than 1.2 million Indians die prematurely due to this air pollution, and in 2017, 1.2 million died. And every year, this number is increasing. One of the major reasons for Delhi's toxic air is believed to be the burning of farm waste in neighboring Punjab and Haryana. You all know, जो पराली जल रही है उसके ऊपर इतना बवाल उठा हुआ है. This is going to add to the air quality index bad quality, because due to the fireworks it will deteriorate, and now this जिसको हम पराली कहते हैं वो इसको और बढ़ा देगी. Delhi government officials have called the city a gas chamber and blamed the state governments of Punjab and Haryana of not doing enough to curb the illegal farm fires. The farmers are still sitting on, you all know, road. They are blocking the highways, but government has to take step to pacify them also. Otherwise, they will create problem. A significant increase in air quality levels will be seen on Diwali, where the fireworks play an overwhelming role in creating a toxic cocktail. Many social media users likened the air pollution in India to smoking cigarettes. Even screenshots of real-time air quality index show the pollution level in numerous cigarette smoked areas. Even the states like the Lucknow, Patna, these are the different cities of different states which match the level of Delhi in air quality index. And as I told you, according to Berkeley Earth Science Research Group, also, breathing in air with PM 2.5 content of between 950 to 1000 is like smoking 44 cigarettes a day. So, this is the problem. Now, let us come to the real chapter, that is, air quality has been a matter of serious concern, as I told you just now, particularly in urban areas that often experience poor air quality. As you see, there are a lot of industries, the air pollution and road you can see in this figure, and then the stubble burning, right? So all these are adding to the poor air quality. The government of India is determined to make every effort to ensure clean air for people in the urban areas of our country. Even it has to take the people residing in your rural area. So, Central Pollution Board, which is known as CPCB, in association with all state pollution control boards, runs nationwide program to improve air quality index in our country and informs people about the quality of air they breathe in simple terms, as well as its likely health impact. This certainly makes people more aware and enhance their involvement in improving air quality. So, if you see the air pollution in Delhi and the causes of air pollution in Delhi, you all know it is reduced airflow, use of excessive firecrackers and other lightning on the occasion of Delhi, stubble burning by farmers of Haryana and Punjab, extreme increase in the number of vehicles. Air quality standards. Air quality standards prescribe the pollutant levels that cannot be legally exceeding during a specific time period in a specific geographic region. There are two types of standards established in 1970: primary standards and secondary standards. Air quality standards. The two standards are, as I told you, primary standard and secondary standards. Primary standards protect public health with an adequate margin of safety. Secondary standards protect public welfare and the environment, crops, vegetation, wildlife, buildings, and national monuments, the visibility, and it has several parts. That is, it has to have an indicator, averaging time period, the concentration of the standard, it is to be mentioned how many times it can be exceeded. And now, what is this exceeded means? Exceedance factor. In order to evaluate the pollution intensity and air quality status, exceedance factor, which is also known as EF, is given by CPCB, Central Pollution Board. So, EF is the proportion of the yearly average concentration of a pollutant and its particular standard, that is given by yearly average concentration of the pollutant divided by yearly standard of that particular pollutant. So based on this equation, there are four criteria. First is critical pollution, EF is above 1.5. High pollution, EF is 1.0 to 1.5. Moderate pollution, EF between zero point 0.5 and 1.0, and low pollution if EF is below zero point 0.5. So this is excellence. Now these are the different national ambient air quality standards. There are different levels which are also given by EPA. I will be telling you about EPA also. So these are the different standards and we have fixed values for this. I'll come to this later on also. So according to World Health Organization, air pollution represents the biggest environmental risk to human health. It can severely affect the environment. Even at low levels, air pollution has been clearly linked to increased heart and breathing problems. Increased hospitalization is required. Even emergency room visits frequency increases and causes premature death. Every country health estimates show that there are large number of deaths each year due to air pollution from human activity. Now, who is at risk if the quality of air is bad? I will like to say everyone is at risk. Even healthy persons can be affected when they exercise outdoors or if the concentration of pollutants is very high. Young people, they are at risk because the lungs are not fully developed, faster breathing rate, more air volume and by body weight creates problem and they become asthmatic. Very old people, they are also at risk because undiagnosed lung or heart diseases are caused. Pollution can exacerbate these conditions. Persons with chronic illness, respiratory, circulatory, or cardiac diseases are prone to more problems. Now, let me tell you what is air quality index. In fact, it is a tool that would help in disseminating air quality status to public in a easy to understand terms and thereby ensuring larger public awareness and participation. So it is the duty of government to make this air quality index available to every citizen. Air quality is measured with air quality index, right? So this is how we put the term air quality index. It works like a thermometer that runs from 0 to 50 degrees. But it has no units, of course. However, instead of showing changes in the temperature, the air quality index is a way of showing changes in the amount of pollution in the air. So this is an instrument which can measure the air quality index. It measures the pollutant concentration from which we can calculate the air quality index. So briefly, what is the advantage of knowing air quality index of which we are talking nowadays? Everybody is talking about air quality. In my state, it is 400, it has crossed 400, it is above 300, and it has created a nuisance. So it is very useful because if we know air quality index, general public will know the air quality in a simplified way. A politician to invoke quick actions, a decision maker to know the trend of events and to chalk out corrective pollution control strategies, a government official to study the impact of regulatory actions, and a scientist who engages in scientific research using air quality data. So, by this, we can regulate so many things. This is just a picture showing the air monitoring station which is installed at railway station and SG Hali Shivnagar in Bangalore. Air quality in India, these are the instruments which we can measure the concentration of the pollutant. So it is seen that multiple agencies propose air quality schemes which may provide varying air quality assessments. For example, air quality may be termed as good by one scheme and poor by the other. This may be very confusing to general public. There is a need to devise a uniform and efficient air quality scheme which provides information about every pollutant and generates an overall index and be unique for entire country. I will like to say not only entire country, it should be for the world. In China, generally do not accept air quality index. They have a different parameter they call air pollution index. But all over the rest of the countries in the world, they report the value as air quality index. So what does this air quality index mean? Index for reporting air quality. There should be a proper index. Color is key for communication. Ranges from 0 to 500. Generally, it is no units. For example, if it is 0 to 50, it is good. I will come to it later. And it is, the scale goes till 500. But no units will be given here, right? Because it has no units. Provides indicator of the quality of air and its health effects. 101 typically corresponds to the level that violates the national health standard. If it is good, 0 to 50. In our country, it is not even at a single place. In Canada, the value is in this range. So it is very good. And if the value is above this 100, it goes to 101, it will become moderate and this will start creating problem. So air quality index has been developed and used effectively in many developed countries over the past 3 decades. For example, in 1976, in 214, Ontario, and then the Shenfield in 1970, all these were given. So there have been not significant efforts to develop and use air quality in India, primarily due to the fact that a modest air quality monitoring program was started only in 1984 and the public awareness about air pollution was almost non-existent. General public was not aware of air pollution and there was a little work done on this. But it is very important to have this regulation. The air quality index scale is required for citizens and policymakers to make decisions to prevent and minimize air pollution exposure and ailment induced by the exposure. Air quality in the past has been based on maximum sub-index approach using 5 parameters given by Sharma. It included SPM, suspended particulate matter, SO2, CO, PM10 and NO2. So these were the 5 categories. And then air quality was based on criteria of the pollutants. They are how much in number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 major criteria were chosen, that is particulate matter 10, 2.5, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide and ozone. The revised PCB air quality standards necessitate that the concept of air quality in India should be examined afresh, and the revised national ambient air quality standards are notified for 12 parameters now, that is PM 10, 2.5, NO2, SO2, CO, O3, ammonia, lead, nickel, arsenic, benzopyrene, and benzene. So these are the major criteria. And the selection of parameters primarily depends on the air quality objects, data availability, that is very important factor. Data should be available. For that, different stations are working for monitoring the pollutant concentration. Averaging period, it is taken for 24 hours, for 1 hour, that is also very important. And the measurement method. So, if we see SO2, NO2, PM 2.5, PM10 and lead and ammonia, they are measured 24 hourly, as well as the annual average standards for arsenic, nickel and benzene have only annual standards, while for carbon monoxide and ozone they have short-term standards, that is 1 hourly and 8 hourly. So in this way it is given. So 24 hourly for these and lead and ammonia, and 1 and 8 hourly for ozone and your carbon monoxide. The units of course are in microgram per meter cube. What's the current status if we see? There have not been significant efforts to develop and use air quality in India. Due to the fact, again I will say, that the National Air Quality Monitoring Program has started only in 1984. And then, although NEERI Nagpur started monitoring program in 10 cities in 1978 and in Bombay Municipal Corporation even before 78, attempts were not made to use air quality for data interpretation and public broadcasting. The pollutant levels were noted, but it was not for the public broadcasting, and the interpretation was also low. Then Harkar reviewed available air quality index and compared air quality status of the city of Bombay and its suburbs. Although many technical papers proposing specific indices appeared in international literature, no detailed study was undertaken to use an index in India. So this is very important. Even the Central Pollution Board, as I told you, it takes into measure these criteria, that is PM, sulfur dioxide, then nitrogen dioxide, the SPM, RSPM, right? The humidity and the temperature, right? And the network consists of 621 operating stations covering 262 cities and towns in 29 states and 5 union territories of the country under NAMP for 4 air pollutants, which I have just now mentioned. So, this is the office of CPCB in New Delhi, which monitors the National Air Quality Index in India was launched on 17 September 2014 in New Delhi under the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan by the Environment Minister Shri Prakash Javadekar. It has been launched for monitoring the quality of air in major urban centers across the country on real-time basis and enhancing public awareness for taking mitigative action. The measurement of air quality is based on 8 pollutants. They are generally particulate matter 10, 2.5, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, ozone, ammonia, and lead. So these were considered for AQI. Then IITM Pune. This also has recently given us the measurement of air quality index. There are also web-based systems for monitoring the air quality index. The web-based system designed to provide air quality on real-time basis is an automated system that captures data from monitoring stations. Different monitoring stations are there on in the different cities which are given by the government. They have installed them and they capture the data, and which has an web based system. From this web based system, on real time basis, air quality index is calculated. At present, it is available only for 10 cities, but it is planned for 46 cities more, which has over 1 million population, and to 20 state capitals on continuous basis without human intervention, and display air quality based on running average values. For manual monitoring stations, an air quality calculator is developed wherein data can be fed manually to get air quality value. So this is the map showing the web-based system. Then let me tell you clearly the proposed air quality categories and range. The proposed index has 6 categories with elegant color scheme as shown below. That is, if it is 0 to 50, air quality index, if it is 0 to 50, it is good. If the value is 51 to 100, it is satisfactory. Look now, the color scheme is also elegant, right? From good it is coming satisfactory, then moderate, 101 to 200, yellow color, poor, 201 to 300, very poor, red, above 300, and severe, above 401. So there is an elegant color scheme. Just by looking the color, we can come to know the air quality index. And of course, the value you all know increases just like the thermometer temperature, 0 to 500. So this is the scheme which we have adopted. Is it clear to you all? This should be understood very carefully to every citizen. You should also explain the general public about this scheme of air quality index. Can you do it, dear students? Hello?
Yes, ma'am, we can.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. So, what are the health impacts? If it is good, impact is minimal. If it is satisfactory, minor breathing discomfort to sensitive people occurs. If it is moderate, breathing discomfort to people with lung diseases such as asthma, discomfort to people with heart disease, children, and older adults. If it is poor, breathing discomforts to people on prolonged exposure and discomfort to people with heart diseases with short exposure. Very poor respiratory illness to people on prolonged exposure. Effect may be more pronounced in people with lung and heart diseases. Severe respiratory effects even on healthy people, and serious health impacts on people with lung and heart diseases. So, you all know the higher the air quality index, greater the air pollution and health concerns. So, let us see. There are different breakpoints. Breakpoints means where it starts affecting the health. So, air quality categories and break point concentration with averaging time is given in this chart, right? So, if you see this chart carefully, what you see, it has been given for all the categories. That is 8 pollutants. That is particulate matter 10, 2.5, NO2, ozone, CO, SO2, ammonia, and lead. The time is mentioned. Averaging time is mentioned. Like this is for 24 hour, 24 hour. This is for 8 hourly. This is for 8 hourly. And the unit is milligram per meter cube. Otherwise, the units are microgram per meter cube. Right? For rest of these. Right? So we have these values. And these are the ranges. Right? So just from 0 to 500, first the ambient concentration of the pollutant is noted and then sub-index is calculated. So first of all, we just note the pollutant concentration. It comes from the different monitoring stations which are there in the different cities installed for their measurement, and it is a linear function of concentration. For example, sub-index for PM 2.5 will be 51 at concentration 31. So let us take this. Let me explain one value. If this sub-index is 31, right, then it will be 51 at the concentration of this. That means from here 51, it will be what? How much? 31 micrograms, right? So in this way we can note how we can calculate, right? Instead of putting more emphasis here, I have explained this in the next slide. First understand this much, that we have measured the different pollutant concentration. Based on the measured ambient air concentration, corresponding standards and likely health impacts known as health breakpoints, a sub-index is calculated for each pollutant. Right. So first the concentration is noted, then the sub-index is calculated for each pollutant. A sub-index, as I told you, is linear function of concentration, right? And how it is calculated, let me tell you. This is the formula of calculating the sub-index. That is sub-index for a pollutant. Let me take at how much? 45 microgram. If I want to know at 45 microgram, then it will be how much? It will be how much? Air quality index will be 75. How you can calculate it? Calculate this? First of all, the upper limit of the previous air quality to which the pollutant's current reading would have fallen. Right? So we note this formula. First, we just for sub-index, we put this value 50. That is the upper limit. This is the, in this range we want to find out. We want to find out the sub-index for 45 micro. So 2.5 के लिए हमने calculate करना है, कितने के लिए? 45 के लिए. So what is the upper limit in this air quality index? It is 50. So we'll put the value 50. So 50 is the upper limit of the previous air quality index category to which the pollutant's current reading would have fallen. Now we add this current reading, that is 45, and minus the upper limit of the previous reading category. This is the category in which we want to study. This comes 45. Then we put this value 30 here. So 45 minus 30 into 50 by 30. From where this comes 50? 50 is the width interval of the air quality index. Width interval is how much? 50. And the width interval of the current reading is how much? Is 30. So we will put this 30, and this, if you solve, comes out to be 75. Similarly, homework for you, calculate it for 150. Rest I will take in the next class. I think so it's enough for this. And in this way, we have the National Air Quality Index standards, right? And we will continue this tomorrow. I think so it's enough for today.